What's up, guys? Welcome to Coffee and Kalashnikovs. We got our coffee, some, and we've got our. Oh, no, just faked you out. That's all. Anyhow, we're here. Hello again, and good evening. Let me turn off something here. It's probably a little annoying in the microphone. I don't know. Let's see who's in here. We got a few right off the bat. Joe, how you doing, Joe? Hope your week was okay. And Orion Fixer's here. Damn, it's lonely at the top, ain't it, Joe? Always good to see Alan Bishop. Hey, y'all. I think I got to talk like that. I got to move down south. Snow is starting to pile up here. And actually, it didn't come till, well, we had a little before deer season. Then we had some the second day of deer season, or maybe it was opening day. I don't remember. And then we've had some pretty good snow since. So, but it certainly came a little later, and it hasn't been as bad as some years. But yeah, it's been a tad bit, just a wee bit cold, like 5 below the other day. I think it was almost 10 below the one day. Anyhow, is what it is. I like the winter better than the heat. I can always cool off, or I'm sorry, I can always warm up. I can't cool off. So, you know how those things go. Who else we got in here? Anthony Kitchen, good evening. We got some good AK content tonight, guys. We are going to talk about, what kind of, and I know not all of you are AK guys or gals. And I know some of you want to be or have been in the past, that kind of thing. But are you the classic kind of AK person? Do you like the classic wood? Do you like, the original AK? Do you like the AKMs, or are you maybe a tacticool guy? You like wood? You like plastic? What do you like? That's what it kind of comes down to, right? I like them all. They all have their place. I love the look of a good, uh, really nicely done wood handguard and stock. And I like setting an AK up so it works for what I'm particularly doing with it in whatever application. If I'm shooting a little longer distance, what have you. I like setting them up different ways. I change them up at times, it seems like there's very few I leave alone. I'm sorry, the thumbnail picture I had up originally with the 3 pistols was pretty cool. And then I was messing with the camera and I ended up changing it. I will change it back when the stream is over. Pretty cool picture. It's on my Instagram right now if you want to take a look at it. And there's a surprise in there, one that you guys have never seen before. If you didn't notice what it was, you've seen the other 2, but they're in there. We got a few more people joining. Let's see who's here. Squeaky Coolers present and accounted for. Who else? Odessa the Great. They like all, or is that, I'm sorry, not Odessa, Ambessa the Great. I like them all. Me too. They all have their place. Some I like to leave original if it's in fact the original format. Others I like to change up. Some I like to take from Polymer and add wood to them, like I did on one of our Veprs. I put an RPK handguard. Obviously, that's the only thing that fits. You can't put a regular AKM handguard on it unless you hogged it out because of the big barrel and the bulge trunnions and all that. And then I put a wood AKM stock on it. I had to thin that out a little bit up right where it meets the receiver to make it look right with the wider or thicker receiver, I should say, the thicker sheet metal. I thought about putting a clubfoot stock on it, like an RPK with the RPK handguard, kind of like a short RPK, you know. I saw Rob Ski had one done up like that for a while. And at first I was like, oh, Rob, what'd you do to that thing? And then it really grew on me. I really liked the look of it, especially knowing what it was, that it was a Vepr. Um, I'm pretty sure Rob's go-to AK is a Vepr, although I think it's a 545 Vepr. And if I was going to get one 545, I think it would probably be a Vepr, but they're just out of sight now. I think back to when I got those guns, and I'm so happy I did because, man, are they nice. I should shoot them more. I really should. Those FMs are really something. Even at the prices they're bringing now, if you don't have one and you can figure out a way to add one to your collection, that is by far the highest quality AK out there, by far. You get the heavy barrel, the heavy trunnions, the thick receiver, and guys say, oh, well, the weight. Come on, give me a break. It's not that big a deal. But the same guy will go add 22 tons of crap on it, right? Hang everything off the rails and this and that, but complain about a little bit of weight from the factory. Anyhow, it looked pretty cool. And I thought of the subject because I see Fred's in here, Saw Gunner Fred. He recently got his hands on a nice Wasser, and he took it to the range and was doing some testing for the By 39 project and did really well considering that stock. You know, if you're not used to shooting AKs a lot, you know, you throw that tiny little stock up there, it's like made for some little North Korean guy or something. I don't know. Teeny tiny, even smaller than a lot of the polymer stuff out there. Anyhow, Fred, Fred's got the disease like all of us. It's an addiction, right? You get started on a project, and all of a sudden, boxes start arriving in the mail, and things start coming, and before you know it, he's got a stock and a foregrip and a trigger and a whatever, mags and scopes and side mounts and on and on and on. So I thought I'd talk about some of the differences and things we add and what I found that works the best kind of in each category. And in some cases, it's not just one brand of something. There's several that I've tried that work really well. Some might be surprises, some might just you switch up between maybe brands or countries, and they seem to work pretty good. But we found a lot of stuff that works well, and maybe I can save you guys having that pile of extra parts there, stuff that looked good on your computer screen, but when it got there was a little lackluster, let's say. So I think we'll go through some of that and just tell you what works, what doesn't, what kind of looks good. And hey, at the end of the day, beauty's in the eye of the beholder, right? There's something to be said for a gun that's worn and showing a little wear and all of that. It's well loved, that's all, and well used, and every mark on it, most guys or gals can account for, when something happened or whatever. Anyhow, we'll get into that a little bit, and there may be, it may get a little heated in the comments if somebody's, got a favorite rifle or a favorite accessory or something like that, and they think I'm wrong, and hey, maybe I am. I'm going over what I found works, because trust me, I've made all the mistakes. I've never really bubbaed an AK. Now, I did bubba an SKS called debubbifying my Yugo SK. I got that rifle back in the day, and the first thing I wanted to do was throw a Tapco stock set on it with the saw grip and the rail, all polymer stock, everything. And the thing always looked a little goofy because that gun's long to begin with because of the spigot on it that's attached permanently for grenade launching and the bayonet and all that. And then you throw that stock on with the adjustable buttstock and everything, and it just looked goofy. So I did a video of putting the stock back on and everything. And thank God I save every single part that comes off a gun if I'm changing anything. And I would urge you to do the same, because your tastes over time will change, and you never know when the value of a gun is just going to go through the roof. And if you have those original parts to put back on it, if you go to sell it one day, it may mean the difference between, hundreds, maybe thousands of dollars. So never throw them out. And remember, as long as you're not being Dave the Dremel guy, there's not much that can't be changed back, with as long as it's not permanent modifications, you're not drilling, grinding, that kind of thing. Always, if you got to make something fit, I'll recommend to you always change or modify the accessory, not the rifle. I get a lot of questions on ALG triggers and the disconnector and how it can hit the rivet, especially on arsenals. They fixed it with the newer generations, but back in the day, guys are like, well, I'll just grind my rivet down. Well, why would you do that? Why wouldn't you just, take a little, file a little off the tail of the disconnector? Much less permanent solution, right? And I've never had to do it. And I've let them hit it a little bit here and there. Nothing's ever happened. I've never broken one. So anyhow, let's check in and see who else jumped in. I'm on a different computer tonight. Usually I'm on an Apple, and I had to use a different one because I left mine at work. Unfortunately, Oregon got 5 feet in the last 24 hours. Holy schmoly. Is that what I heard? I caught a piece of a news story that there were people trapped in cars with kids and didn't have food and this and that, and they couldn't get out. I don't know. Anyhow, yeah, the squeaky cooler AKs. Woohoo! Yep, it's going to be all AK tonight, guys, for the most part. Unless we stumble into some things like we often do here. You never know. Let's see. So Ann Bess is in here. I've never seen, I think, is that a her or a he? I can't tell. Your little icons look so small on the screen. I can't tell. Let's see. So what does Fred have to say? Happy January live stream. The notice said January must be hosted from Korea. Oh, Jamuary. Just my typing skills. Sorry, guys. What are you gonna do? I'm trying to do them fast. I get home from work and I'm running to do it. I've been helping Loretta. She's decided she wants a third gun, a shotgun. We have figured out the break action stuff. The single shot is up to her, really. Yeah. Well, it'll be interesting to see what she picks. If you got to have one shotgun, oh God, I was never an automatic guy until the last few years. I like pumps, except, well, even my trap gun. I shot a lot of my 870 for decades. I shot that gun as opposed to some of the higher end stuff, Parazzis and things like that. But it's hard to go wrong with a pump. But boy, that Beretta 301 or 1301 really is something. And I've been going to the range and concentrating on this Buy 39 project. But I think tomorrow, I was watching shotgun slug videos, and I was watching what's his name, the older guy with the range, Hickok, and he was plugging some slugs out to 200, and I think then I watched one video was 294 yards, and he put like 9 out of 10 slugs in like a 1.5 foot area. Amazing. And I think it was with iron sights. It was pretty impressive. But it's so much fun to lob those slugs in there. I don't know what it is, but I've just been itching to go do it. And I'm going to bring like, I don't know, 100, 200 slugs, and I'm going to rip through them all. It's just so much fun. Love ringing that steel out there with it. Just something different. I don't know. I never shot a lot of slugs, never hunted with slugs really. And I don't know. It's just something I've really been wanting to do lately. I did it that one day and it was so much fun. I can't wait to do it again. So that's what we're going to do. We'll bring you a video of the whole thing. If you saw the original picture I had up here for the thumbnail, you saw 3 pistols there. 2 you've seen. I said the third one you hadn't. Well, the Galil is in there. Take a look at it. You'll see that in a video that'll drop it probably late tonight or tomorrow. And I got to looking at it, and I really, it doesn't have the character of the Gen 1. But I must say, I always tell you guys that the Galil, I don't consider it part of the AK family. I consider it its own thing because I think we need to give it that service, that honor, whatever, because it is that nice. Man, is this gun nice. God, it's so, the milled receiver, the action, the left hand charging, the dust cover, how smooth it is, the trigger, just everything about it. It's weird to pick up an AK and not have, you can have 4 of the same rifle and each one's going to be different, work different, handle different, sound different. Everyone they're not like ARs where you just click them all together. Each one's a hair different. And you pick that gun up and it's just so nice. And really glad we got it in the pistol format. It's going to be a cool gun. So we'll bring you that. It's going to be really neat. And we got some good stuff coming this week. So it should be fun. Let's see who else. And Bessa says, I have some that are original and some that are tactical. Yep. So I got her. Fred, I started out wanting the wood, but thanks to you, it looks like a tactical goat gun now. Well, what are you going to do? For what we're doing on the project, it totally makes sense, Fred. And hey, who's to say you can't throw that wood handguard back on or whatever? It doesn't matter. You can toss it right back on. That's a great thing. Idaho is getting nailed too. That's where what are you doing in Idaho? Do you live in Idaho, Joe? I didn't think you lived in Idaho. That's one state I think I would like to move to. We were pushing Tennessee for a long time, and it just seems like the prices are getting nuts there. But my wife doesn't like the cold there, like it's so warm here. We got to find a nice happy medium. Squeaky cooler. I'm definitely keeping my eyes open for a Vepr. Just didn't have the available funds at the time when they were plentiful. Now I'll be paying up. Yeah, and you know what? That's not to say you don't run across one, a deal somewhere. They're out there. Somebody doesn't know what they have or whatever, and you luck into one. You never know. I want to talk about a AK variant I saw too that I've been waiting for, and I'm tempted, but I don't know if I'm going to take your guys' advice. I'll bring that to you. I wonder what the holdover. It wasn't that at 300 yards. I want to say at the end of the day, he was holding over about 8 feet, I think. Misha just did a quick video about them fancy arsenal under. That's what I was going to bring up. Miguel Velasquez. I watched that video and I've been looking at those guns. You guys know I've wanted an arsenal underfolder to kind of finish off my SAM collection, but I want a SAM 7. If you guys watch that video, that's their classic version. They've had the classic out for years and years. And what those guns are is they are built in Las Vegas, and they're built by Arsenal. Nobody really knows the real story on the receivers. The story's kind of been or kind of accepted that Those receivers come in kind of partially done, and then they finish machining them and cutting holes and all that here in the States in Las Vegas. But Misha alluded to, and others, and we've all talked about it, that those may be U.S. made receivers. They do say made in Las Vegas on them. Either way, the Las Vegas built guns over the years, and they've done them for a long time. Their Model 95 was done here, and some of the guns that are built in Vegas are considered some of their finest work because they're hand built, each one. They're not done on an assembly line at the arsenal. There's never been any bad publicity about them, that they don't run well or don't hold up or anything like that. It's always been good, and the fit and finish and the paint especially is way better than the stuff coming out of Bulgaria. So anyhow, they have these guns on there on Kvar, and I saw them. I got a notice about them. I'm one of their whatever that club is where you get the notifications and you get to buy it before the public and all that. And I don't know how I got it. If I told you the story, I'm just pretty damn good customer there, and on a first name basis with one or two of the guys that answer the phone when you call. And I started getting these emails about it and stuff. And like when that 5.56 gun came out, I could buy it before others could. And there were, and that's the thing, you got to watch with them. They said, oh, there's only so many, small batch in the country, and only you guys that have done business and part of the club here can buy them. And that lasted a while, and they were gone. And then magically there was another batch. Yeah, the Inner Circle Club. I'm part of that. All of a sudden there was another batch showed up, and everybody can buy them now. Well, it drove the prices up right away. What I bought mine for, a week later, I could have sold it for like $1,000 more. I didn't. I wanted the gun. I didn't want to make any money. But same thing with those OD green mags. I come to find out I had been emailed on those, and that was an Inner Circle thing. I was offered them first, whatever. But those aren't the original OD mags, thankfully. I was happy to find out, because I paid up for one of those mags, a lot of money for one of the original ones. And these new ones are different. They're not even the same mold, I don't believe. And the color is different. So beware, if you think you're getting one of the originals, you're not. Let's see. So as far as those classics go, they have more or less the SAM 7 folding stock. It's straight as opposed to the drop that they used to have, and they're Cerakoting them. And I finally did see they are doing one in black, but it's Cerakoted, which isn't bad because the normal finish is kind of crappy, right? Some people don't like the FDE color they have. It's a little darker, and it does look sexy on that gun, boy. I kind of like it. But at the end of the day, I think I'd rather just have the SAM 7 UF, the underfolder, which are not in stock and haven't been in quite some time. So, I know if I went and bought one, the next day they'd get a batch of the ones I want, and I'd be screwed. So I don't know what to do. I don't know. Collectability wise, guarantee you the SAM 7 Arsenal built gun is going to be worth more at the end of the day. But are there any more going to come in? I don't know. Waiting on the Zastava underfolder too. I like underfolders, not just because it was my first AK, but I like them. They're comfortable. They're portable. They're just nice guns. Let's see. Fred, you're right. I saved everything. Really would like a matching dong for it. I told you I got one here. I'm going to send you one. I don't know if it matches, but you can always throw some shellac on it. We'll talk later, and I'll send you that dong for everything you helped me with here. Let's talk about the Buy 39 project real quick. So you guys will see a video. Unlike the first week I went out and I told you I wasn't even on paper and stuff, and it was my fault. Well, I loaded up using the same powder, same bullets, but sighted in the gun and everything, and went out and had a much better day. I think the only problem I'm having is I really don't have the right powder for this gun. There's, like a 300 blackout powder. Stuff I've got is faster, and it's just not, I can't get enough powder in there to get the velocities I need, and especially with the 150 grain bullet. If I had like a 124 grain bullet, 130 grain bullet, which I do, I have the cast bullets Fred made and sent me, but I am doing something wrong there. I've never loaded cast bullets before. I didn't even know how deep to seat them. I don't know if I seated them too far, not enough. I seated them so they'd fit in the mag essentially. But to me, cast bullets are Greek to me. I don't know what, like I had asked Fred, what's a gas check? I didn't know what a gas check was. And the different rings, and do all those need to be in the case, or can some be sticking out? I don't know. I know nothing about them. I really want to shoot these things and get them going. So anyhow, so I'm loading BLC2. For those of you that don't reload, it's just a type of powder. I use it for 308 mostly, always have. Have never really used it for 5.56 or 223, but it's a very good powder for both. And I'm going to use it because I got a lot of it. So I've been shooting a lot of powder, this powder called TAC. I like some of the other stuff too. That's got the copper remover in it, but that's been hard to find. The one Alliant powder they make just for AR has been hard to find. So I got plenty of BLC2. We'll load that up. So that's fine. But I kind of stuck to the upper end of what's recommended, which I think the max load was like 29.5 grains. And that was a full case pretty much, barely compressed maybe, but just seems like a lot of powder. It's scary when you're loading that in and you hear that crunch of the powder. You're going, damn, when this thing goes off. And so, like not knowing how deep to seat those cast bullets, I put the rifle on the bag and stood back, kind of covered my face, and pulled the trigger on the first one. I fully didn't expect it to do anything because I know Fred wouldn't lead me down the wrong road on that. But with seating them, I didn't know. So who knows? You can change pressures huge if you seat a bullet too far. That being said, if you guys ever have a misfeed or something and it jams a bullet down in the case, do not fire that bullet, guys. Toss it. You might think, well, I'll just shoot it, throw it in there like a 9mm or something, anything in an automatic, where maybe it rams in and shoves it down. Do not shoot it. You could be in a lot of trouble. And I'm not talking about, a millimeter or something, but you don't want to shoot it. Not good. So yeah, those classics, very nice. I just don't know what to do on those. The Buy 39 project, I loaded like 28 grains, 28.5, 29, 29.5. And I'm getting into the 1,700 feet per second range. I shot some tool out of right off the bat, and the gun was all over the place. I don't know if that was me or the gun. And then I shot 2 rounds. I had loaded some sight-in rounds of the 150 grain with the BLC, and I shot 2 and 2, and oh my God, they were touching. I thought, man, I hit on it, but it's just the feet per second or so slow. Super accurate, those shots. I mean, I was like, wow, okay, this is gonna be awesome. And then I did shoot a group with them that was like 1.25 MOA. I shot 2 groups, 1.25 MOA with the 150. So that's big news. And then I was kind of expecting the same with the cast bullets, and no, they were like 7 or 8 inch groups. They were all over the place. So While I got those 150 grain shooting really well, but just slow, it may be, hey, maybe 150 grain bullet, maybe 1700 to 1800 feet per second is not, or maybe that's the range it's supposed to be in. But I will tell you this also, not only were they accurate, but the maximum differential between feet per second was so close. I mean, they were like 3 feet per second. I think on the one, the max was like 10 feet per second difference between 5 shots. And that's big, guys, that when they're that small. A couple were like 3 or 4 feet per second difference. And I'm loading with an old fashioned beam scale. I don't even use a digital. So that's, I use a trickler for these and all that. But and my eye's pretty good. I've loaded with those scales for a long time. But I was pretty impressed with that. That was pretty cool. So something neat. Let's see. Let's see who's in here. Oh man, I missed a bunch here. Yeah, McGill, old guns, new paint jobs. Yep. Not to say they're bad guns. Those are good guns. They're the defunct AK-20 receivers. That project was dead on arrival. I don't know if they are or not. That's the first time I've heard that, really. Like I said, and even Misha said that he's kind of leaning toward them being partially finished Bulgarian receivers. I don't know. There's some question to it. They do say they're hammer forged, but they don't say as much as they do about the Bulgarian ones. Sam 5 or M90. I've shot both. I like the Sam 5. It kicks brass further than any gun I own. I mean, you might as well just forget it. It launches it and it creases it, but it's accurate. I haven't had a single jam out of that gun. That being said, I shot the M90 with Zastava at a range. And I think I was the second person maybe to have a report out on that gun. It's got an 18-inch barrel, which for 5.56 223, it matches the ballistics of that bullet. You're getting the max out of that thing. And it's got adjustable gas, which is nice. I would definitely turn it down because that gun too is, even in a normal setting, has got plenty of gas. I love Yugo guns. When I shot it, I don't think they had the final versions of the mags there, and I thought the one version they had was cheap, and the other were the old, some metal ones. I don't know. The final mags look different, and they seem nicer, so that kind of takes care of that question. The rest of the gun is typical Zastava, so nothing to worry about there. I guess as kind of a DMR version, yeah, really nice. But that extra 2 inches of barrel and then throw on a flash hider, and that it just starts getting a little long. That's the only problem I have with that gun. And it's not necessarily a problem. It's just different. And if you wanted to use it as an all-around AK, for close-in work and everything, I might go to the SAM. That being said, I think it'd be nice to have both. That SAM can do it all, and not as I don't want you guys to think I'm bashing it, because I'm not. It's just that extra length makes it a little less unwieldy or wieldy. I think it would be better suited as a DMR with like a 2x10 scope on it or something like that. And then have the SAM for other stuff, if in a perfect world. Either way, guys, it's not like 18 inches is the end of the world. Oh, you know what I'm going to have to do here, guys? Did I connect this? Watch me run out of battery and I lose you guys. That would be something, wouldn't it? That would suck. Give me 1 second. 30-second break. I gotta remember what I did. I'm gonna keep talking here for a second, but I want to make sure we get plugged in here before we lose you guys, and that's the end of that. But yeah, in a perfect world, I think I would like to have both of them, and I do think that that M90 would be the perfect DMR gun. The stuff it comes equipped with is really nice. It comes with that Hogue handguard. It's comfortable. The Zukov stock is certainly nice. That's really cool. And the ability to fold it and all that. Um, I'll tell you the one thing I don't like about the SAM is the stock on that, because you can't use it with an optic without finding a cheek riser or something like that for it. So that's kind of a real pain in the neck. And I can't find this charger. Give me 1 sec, guys. 30-second break. I'll be right back. All right, that was easy enough. I got it. Let me just plug it in here and we'll be good to go for the rest of the stream here. I had that happen to a stream a couple months ago, and we were having a great stream, and boom, I lost it. That was the end of that. So don't want to have that happen, that's for sure. So we will be set to go here in 1 second. All right. Sorry, guys. There we go. Hope you're all still here. Thanks for hanging in. Hope you could hear me while I was talking. So yeah, stocks. Zukov stock, really cool on the M90. The polymer stock on the SAM5, not cool, and not a lot of replacements. The SAM stocks on on the milled receivers, they tend to angle down. So while they really plant you in there nice for iron sights, you get no rise for even a red dot. It's terrible. And if you do go to replace it, you got to take the tangs off, at least the lower one in most cases. And who really wants to do that? If I remember correctly, they're riveted on, so you could re-rivet it, not a big deal. I haven't done a ton of searching, but I have not been able to find a stock I like for that SAM5, and I've got an optic for it and everything, and I really want to get out and shoot that gun, but just haven't had the time to really dive in and look for a stock. So I was hoping you guys had suggestions for that, and could maybe help in that department. If you guys have found a nice stock that works well with the milled versions, that would be cool. Let's see, K-bar inner circle, yeah. They need to bring back the SLR 106. That gun, when it came out, there were some problems feeding, and it kind of, I guess it ended up being one batch. And if I remember correctly, it was the plate under the mag catch that caused it to have the feeding problems. And a lot of guys reported theirs ran fine, but a ton of guys said they kept jamming and failure to feed. Some wouldn't strip rounds, that kind of thing. And K-bar Arsenal made good on them, but there was always that question: am I going to go spend this money and it's not going to work? Later versions, there didn't seem to be any problems. It'd be cool to bring it back out, and things were going that way. A lot of 545 guns were on their way out. Even Century and all of them were bringing out guns. PSA, and now with the steel case not going to be coming in soon here. I think it shelved a lot of those, so I doubt you will see any. Take a look at prices of 5.45 guns. They've went through the roof. They're look on Gunbroker. There's idiots on there asking $4,000 for some of these guns, and it's just insane. And my phone keeps going off, and I can't find my phone. It's dark in here. Cave, the AK Cave. You like the red glow and everything? Yeah, better than sitting out in the dirty shop or sitting on the other boring couch. At least you got a little AK artwork here. I'll get out of the way. Um, I think it looks a little better than what we've been doing, so kind of cool. Yeah, 5.45 guns. There's guys asking $4, $5, $6 grand. It's like, is anybody really paying those prices? Are they just trying to see if someone will grab one? I guess that's always the case, but just nuts. I tell you something cool. We're going to get to the accessories. That's what this was about. But last night, if you look in the picture that I put on the thumbnail, and it'll be back up after the stream, but one of the guns has a 40-round Bakelite in there, Russian Bakelite, and it's got stamps and everything. They're really nice. They're mint. I go to load one up. I brought 2 boxes of Tula in. I'm sitting in front of the TV, and I'm going to load up a mag. And I'm not even counting. I get a couple rows of ammo in it, and I'm pushing. I'm like, man, is this thing binding? What's going on? I can't get another round in the gun. I'm like, this thing's got to be bound up. Something's up. Brand new unused mags, never inserted. Beautiful. So I take the floor plate off and I pull the spring out and everything. And inside the spring is this weird, it's like the same metal as the spring, but a little thicker, galvanized, like the big loop. And it's basically a spacer in there to keep that mag from holding 40 rounds. Guess what it brought it down to? Didn't bring it down to 30. Didn't bring it down to 20. Brought it down to 10 rounds. Now, why would you put? They were probably someone an importer sold them to California customers, I would imagine. I got them off of a Reddit thing, and I paid what I thought was pretty big money for them, but not crazy. I thought it was a decent deal. And I got a thing today from a certain vendor selling beautiful 40-round Bakelite mags. And I thought, oh, cool, man, I'll order a few more. I look at the price. Now, they had starred mallet mags, original mallets. They had ones with the circle with nothing in them. And then they had just the stamped ones like mine. But you weren't guaranteed stamps either. They were asking $265 a piece for these mags. So in a couple of weeks, I made a bunch of money on my mags. It's just nuts. It's nuts. And I'm pretty sure those mags coming out in the email they sent out shut down their website. I couldn't get on it. And I'm like, damn it, I want to get on. I want to get some of these, And I couldn't get on. Finally, I was able to get on. And then I saw the price and I thought, screw that. But yeah, they had those. They had some original Romanian 75-round drums and a bunch of stuff. Other Romanian RPK mags, bunch of nice stuff. And those were okay prices, but those 40 rounders were way out of sight. But Alan, it would be cool if they brought out the 106. I like Arsenal stamped guns. I started to tell you that, I shot that Tula out of the Krebs rifle, and it was all over the place too. I don't know if something's up with that gun, man. And I think it may be the side mount. While it's not flopping, obviously if it was flopping, I'd do something about it. But if I put not light pressure, but medium pressure, that thing flexes, and I've never had them flex like that. Maybe from taking it on and off, it's just worn in a little bit and I need to tighten it up. Maybe that's been my problem all along. So we're going to take a deeper dive into that tonight and get it ready for tomorrow. I haven't shot that gun enough to wear a barrel out. The rifling still looks good and everything. Um, I just don't know. This by 39 project is just not going the way I wanted it to. I'm getting frustrated with it. I need to get my hands on the right powder. I need a little more information on these cast bullets. And I need to find, I think where I need to go with this is A, the cast bullets with the right powder. And B, I think of these Hornady 120, whatever, 123 grain, uh, the bullets they make for the AK for 7.62 by 39. I think that's the way to go uh, with just the right load, the right powder, and do a ladder test and get these things super consistent and see where at what charge these things are going to run really accurately. I think at the end of the day, it's going to be one of those two that takes the cake. Either those cast bullets are going to shoot really accurately or those 123 grainers. I think messing around, although I did find that those 150s now I was grouping real nice. So uh, I got to think those bullets can get over 2,000 feet per second, the 150 grains. I don't know. So it's gonna take a few more weeks. Fred's got a ton of info and he's been doing real well on his end with it. Uh, but he's got more powders to use and the right powders. And of course, he's developed that cast bullet and he's been using it a long time. So just need to get me set up on these things so we can get the right testing done. Polymer mags, yep. The only mags I do, other than stuff that I'm looking to make a gun look something, my go-to mag are the Bulgarian waffle mags, black. Those are the best mags on the market, period. End of story. None better. Other good stuff, not saying other stuff isn't good, doesn't work. Hell, I love Tapco mags. Never broke. Everybody puts those things down. They work great for range mags and more. Miguel Valenzuela, Sam Fiber, M90. We talked about that. AKU having trouble with gas selector, jumping the settings. Saw that. There's a little tab that holds it, and that tab was bent. Once he bent it down, it solved that. I didn't have any problem with it holding at the gas setting when I shot Zastavas. I keep saying I'm going to contact them and see if they'll send me a rifle to test so I can dive into that thing a little deeper. And that'll be something we probably do more towards summer here when I got time. I want the mini jack. Yeah, the mini is milled. That's pretty cool little gun. Pretty cool. Again, no notification. Well, I put it out about 7 o'clock. Maybe it didn't come. Who knows? I can't. Man, I got to catch up here in these comments so I can answer and we can get to the accessories here. If you guys have a question about accessories, what you want to know the best brand of whatever a flash, what's a good flash hider, what's a good muzzle brake, what's a good stock, scope mount, whatever, ask them and maybe we'll lead in that way. I cover two birds with one stone here. Chase Kelly got here. Good to see you. Chase Allen Bishop putting a T2 Micro on a Midwest Industries low profile mount on a Sam 7 SF. Nice setup. Yes, it is. So, a T2 Micro is a great setup, whether it's the real deal or some of the clones out there. I've had great luck with Primary Arms, great luck with Holosun. And I like them as well as the originals. Tell you the truth, really nice stuff. Super small. The Midwest mounts there's 3 mounts to buy. Let's talk about mounts real quick. Number one and the best, just been hard to find lately, is the RS Regular. By far the best mount. The lightest for sure. You can basically custom build your mount. You can get a forward biased, a rear biased, or a full rail. You can get an ACOG mount, T2 micro mounts, anything you want, they make. And the base, you buy the base setup, and then you buy the top piece for whatever you're doing. So you can get a 30 millimeter mount, whatever you want, and custom make it so it's the lightest. You don't have extra metal there if you don't need it. They are super tight over the top cover, and they definitely sit the lowest of anything out there. And they hold zero. You can take them on and off, and they hold zero as long as you have them set right. You can drill and pin them, so once you set them up, they don't move. If you like, I've done that on a couple rifles. A lot I leave alone because I switch them between some stuff, but great mount. Midwest Industries, nice mount, little heavier, some extra metal there, but they work really well. The Arsenal side mounts, I use a couple of those. I have one on the Krebs rifle, and that's the one that's a little loose right now. Now, this is the first time I've had anything happen, and I still don't know if that's the case. It was in passing. I was putting the gun away. I didn't have time to really look at it, but I'll let you know how that works out. They also make, there's two Arsenals. There's the SM, I think it's SM13, and then there's an SMV, I think it was 13, which is made for the Vepr side folder. So on a Vepr side folder, a lot of regular mounts won't work. You can't get it past the hinge. So Arsenal makes one for it. I've been looking for one for the longest time, and I haven't been able to find one. And when I did find one, I think I had just bought something and didn't want to spend the money. But RS Regular came to the rescue, and they make one for it too. The latest mount I've tried is the Zastava mount that they came out with. I got one for my ZPAP, and we've been testing that with a Holosun T2 micro, and I'll let you know how that's been working out. When I saw that mount the first time at the Zastava shoot, I compared that mount to the RS Regulate that I had on my NPAP, and it actually sat lower than the RS Regulate. I couldn't believe it. But then when I got this mount, the Zastava mount, I put it on, it seems like it's higher, a bit higher. So I don't know if the mounts are off a little or just my gun sits a little different. I don't know. But on the ZPAP, it seems to sit higher than an RS Regulate. Nice mount. Looking at the way the lever works and the locking mechanism, it sure looks like it's made by UTG. Now, a lot of people have consider UTG cheap Chinese junk. They do have a line called their Pro line, which is made here in the US. And that's good stuff, all of it. I would never be afraid to use anything from their Pro line. Really nice stuff. That being said, this mount is pretty nice, and it's got an angled mount off the side. If you were going to run, let's say, a scope, and then you wanted like a reflex sight or small red dot off the side at an angle like you do on an AR, it's got a mount there for it. So it's kind of cool. The lever works extremely well and smooth. Mounts up well. I have not tested return to zero on it yet, but all in all, nice mount and not a lot of money. They were hard to get a hold of. They would put a batch on their website and they'd be gone instantaneously. I got this one from them. I called them, talked to one of the guys I knew there, and I got one. So I haven't done a video on it because we've been testing it. I've been, one thing you haven't seen and I haven't talked a lot about is I've been shooting the living heck out of that ZPAP. You guys know how much I like Hugos and how much I like my NPAP. I've just been shooting this thing, and God, that gun is so nice. So much fun. And frankly, I like it with the irons. Just two guns I like with the irons. And I have optics on both of them, but I like my Sam 7 side folder with irons. That gun is just a laser beam. It fits me so well. It just comes up and those sights are right there. And that end pap, but I really like that end pap too with a red dot. And I really want to try it out with a scope. We may take that primary arms 1x6 and put it on that ZPAP and use it in the by 39 project. So I got a lot of work yet to do on this, guys, before I bring you a real video on this reloading thing. It just, there's so much to do and it takes a lot of time because you adjust your loads and you're reloading and you load up the rounds, you head to the range, you shoot them, it's not there yet. So now it's a whole nother trip and maybe a week goes by or maybe the weather doesn't cooperate and it's 2 weeks. Or maybe you don't have the powder or whatever the case may be. It's dragging out. I thought it was going to be quicker than this, but my end is dragging. So it's just hopefully I have a little time on my hands coming up here pretty soon and I can get this thing knocked out once and for all. We'll see. So I said, Chase Kelly's here. Troy Hutchins II. I'm losing my appetite for $2,000 arsenals, needing a special membership to get goodies, holding out for the FB Ratum. You know, I agree with you. And what it comes down to with Arsenal and KVAR is none of us should be surprised at this. It's been the stuff they've pulled all along, right? There's always been gun broker auctions for stuff that's supposedly been out of stock or unavailable. And all of a sudden you see a 4-piece Bulgarian flash hider going for $500 on there or some crazy shit like that. Or like my 5.56 gun. Oh, only for Inner Circle members. And they sell out. I literally got the last one supposedly. They were off the website and gone. I called, I talked to my guy. He said, Chris, I put one aside for you. Boom, there it was. So that was the last one supposedly. And prices shoot to like $3,000, $3,500. And a week later, here's another batch of them available to everybody. Well, okay. As the guy that couldn't get one, I can see how you're frustrated. As the guy that did get one and think, man, I got a real collector's item here, and then have them come out, I feel the same way. So not only do they screw the guys wanting one, but they screw the guy that has been a good customer, was their Inner Circle member, and now you feel screwed too. So they screw on both ends, right? And all along, forever and ever and ever, there's always been another batch. Oh, we found another pallet full back in the plant. Yeah, in a broom closet somewhere. The janitor was hiding them, whatever the case may be. They got a lot of stuff, guys, and they can get a lot of stuff, I'm pretty sure, damn near anytime they want. Yeah, maybe there's a run or they're building a military or something and they can't get their hands on it. But let's face it, they're a big company. They can get whatever they want when they want, for the most part, I would think. So it's the games they've been playing all along, pricing games with their dealers, all kinds of stuff. I would love to have one of the Vepr RPKs, but $7,000 or $6,000. Well, we watched them drop. They were 10,000 at one point, then they went to 9, 8, 7, 6. Pretty sure you can buy one between 5 and 6 right now. And funny thing is, I thought about it. Then I thought I got to have a screw loose. I'd love to have one. I really would. I like RPKs. The two I have are wonderful. I'd love to have that. I mean, be a great gun. I have a real mullet, essentially a true blue Russian RPK. Hell yeah, who wouldn't want one? But yeah, it does get to be a little, you're right. That's a perfect way to put it. You're losing your appetite for it. Yeah, they got what you want, and you hate to say no, but at the end of the day, you feel a little screwed over, right? It's like a girlfriend cheating on you or something. Let's see. Yeah, Alan KVAR kind of sucks. That being said, the guys there have done really nice stuff for me over the years too. So I got mixed feelings on it. I don't know. Good to see you as well, Joe. Enjoying the fireplace. I got to do that. I got a whole load of wood. It's all nice and dry. I covered it. I got a nice wood rack out back. I built, and I was all ready to go, and I haven't had one fire here. I'm gonna have to. Let's see. All right, guys, we're gonna do some quick catching up in these comments. I really want one like that OD Green 40 round Arsenal mag you have. My OD Green is a 30 rounder. It's not a 40 rounder. But yeah, I love that. And I paid up for it. A guy on Gunbroker had a couple, and I missed the first one. I got the second one, so I was glad to have it. It's cool. I'd like to have a plum one too, because I have a SLR 107R, and with plum furniture. Plum's not on it. I got some crazy setup on it right now. Talk about a mixed up gun. Boy, oh boy, this thing's got a tan minimalist stock with a AR buffer tube conversion with TDI arms, billet fore end, and a cheese grater, tube cover, and what does it have? ALG trigger, a BL, what is that? A Meridian Defense muzzle brake. And the gun's all over the place. And the plum furniture sitting brand new, still wrapped up. I took it off, and I shoot that gun a lot. It's super light. I like it. But it'd be nice to have a plum one. But the plums are more expensive than the OD Green, or at least they were. I don't know. OD's kind of in style. See, I led the trend there, guys, right? So would you say the current Circle 10 OD mags are painted black mags or molded OD? I haven't seen them. All I've heard is they're a slightly different color. And watch Misha's latest video on those classic underfolders that are available from Arsenal. And he mentioned something about them because he was talking about the Inner Circle Club, the same thing we are right now. What a kind of a weird, sketchy situation. And he brought that up, that they weren't even what people were expecting. So take that for what it's worth. I have not touched one in person. And I was going to order one. I was so excited last week, if you guys remember, that they were out. And I was kind of pissed that I had paid up for the original OD Green, and now here they were, all you wanted. Black goes with everything, Troy Hutchins. You are correct, sir. Master mount. I like mine. If you have to, yeah. Why not? I still would prefer a mounted side rail, of course. But to mount an optic on, say, my Yugo underfolder, yeah, it'd be kind of cool. But that's a gun I just leave alone. I like it too much the way it is. So I don't know. I don't see that much of a use. But if that's your AK and you want to mount some kind of optic on it, it's a great way to go. If you install them correctly, they work fabulous. So nothing wrong with them. Dixie Living, they made it in tonight. Good to see you guys. They're one of my favorite people here. They truly are. K-Bar does have that Inner Circle. Yep. I'm a proud member. I like the SM13 on mine. Yeah, Fred's got the SM13 as well, the Arsenal. Great. And they're not a lot of money, 100 to 150. I forget. It's been a while since I bought two of them years ago, and I've had them forever. They just work well. They're a little long, but it's a long rail. If you're looking for a long rail to mount a scope, a regular scope, or even a big scope, that's the mount to do it with. Plenty of room on there. Sometimes I look at it, if you got like a red dot on there, or even a prism scope, or maybe a 30 millimeter red dot or something, it's kind of overkill. It's super long. You look at it all hanging out there and you go, God, that's a lot of weight on there for nothing. If you're running a smaller optic like a red dot or something, it's probably not the way to go. Go with the RS Regulate or something, because you'll have so much rail there. But if you're mounting a scope, by far, that's the way to go. It's the one you see on my Krebs rifle. And of course, I got a 1x6 on there. That's the best way to go with a scope, I think. There's a lot of metal there. There's big supports. That's not to say that the full length rail RS isn't good as well, but that you can change up. This, I would probably lean toward using the Arsenal SM13s with a full scope is the way I would go. And that's what I've done. I did buy it. I know what I use it on. I use it on my Vepr 12 gauge. It works well on that because I was running that the big long EOTech on there, and those are like 12, 13 ounces, 14. It works well on there, and of course Arsenal with Arsenal, right? It looks good, but definitely I would reserve those for longer, heavier types of optics and go with the RS or the Midwest Industries or the Zastava for shorter stuff. Let's see. Anyone have a JComp V2 compensator? I do not. I have not looked at that's made by JMac, I would assume. And, for a while I was looking at the JMac stuff, hot and heavy, and they do make some really nice quality stuff, but I haven't dabbled with their stuff at all, none of it. So I by all reports, it's super nice quality stuff and very innovative, a lot of it. So, I can't say anything good or bad. I haven't touched them personally, and I don't like to talk about things I don't know. So, Pixel Face, Killa, I have an Arsenal SM13V for my, I thought you were going to say for sale. I was going to say sold for my FM11 non-folder. Got it at Atlantic, probably one of the last ones online. Do they still have them? Alan says the Zastava one is a UTG, just branded for Zastava. That's fine. It's a nice mount. It really is. I got nothing bad to say about it. It's really nice. Let's see. Can you get a Zastava black arrow for the price of a Vepr RP? Hell yeah. Cheaper. Way cheaper. For sure. Well, maybe not way cheaper, but yeah, you can. When will Arsenal get it? Most of us want our AK-100 series rifles in the 3 main calibers and folding stocks. How difficult can it really be? Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. I mean, the SLR series, they're nice guns. I like them a lot, but they're kind of a mixed bag, right? Kind of a hybrid almost, but still great guns. I like them. But yeah, if they would just, I don't know if they can get that done. I don't know if Arsenal will do it. I guess they'd do it. Why wouldn't they? You'd think if the market's there, they'd sell a ton of them. So who knows? I'm sure they're trying. Why wouldn't they? Militant Roots, Joe, yes, sir. I'm already seeing them going for a few hundred more than I paid too. Zastava works great. Barrel. I'm trying out a barrel clamp mount for a Surefire, and so far I'm happy with it. You haven't seen any change in point of impact, anything with the barrel harmonics? I hate clamping stuff to the barrel, but sometimes you just got to. Alan Bishop, I saw an Arsenal egg beater flash hider sell for $400, right? On Gunbroker, probably. God, I saw one for sale the other day on a forum, and I should have grabbed it because I want one for my one Sam rifle. and I've been putting it off. I missed some stuff here. I'm trying to Zastava mount with an angle mount to mount a light to your Tiger Make. Yeah, that's a great idea. Although it's kind of far back, but hey, why not? And it saves you from having to barrel mount it, you know? So not a bad idea. Let us know how that works out. Um, It's another gun I want to get out, our AR-10, and really do some work with that. God, there's so much stuff I want to revisit that, we did videos on, and we did maybe a build video or a tabletop review, and then we did some range shooting and reported on it, but we didn't dive any deeper. I just, put them in the rack and went on to the next project. And we really need to go back and revisit a lot of these projects because a lot of you guys are interested in them, one, and two, we just didn't give them enough coverage. There's so many nice things. For one, another one I really want to get back into. If you guys saw my video on the Markelmar, the Spanish set me, God, is that a cool gun? So cool and rare. 650 of them produced, and just such a nice shooting gun. I really want to work that. The only thing I'm mixed on is I got the one that's got the pick rail on the top. And of course, that wasn't original. And I kind of kicking myself. I should have got one that didn't have it. But that being said, I can put a red dot on and have fun with it. So, and it's not obtrusive. And other than that, the gun is just super nice. And it's OD green. How do you beat that? Told you straight up, if I had money to invest, that's where I'd put it all. Almost bought one of those WBP Polish AKs. Not sure about the 1,300 price tag. The WBP Polish AKs are beautiful guns. Really nice guns. Guys, 1,300 today is kind of like middle market. It really is. What's cheaper? A Wasser for $9.95? There's not much out there. So it's, I hate to use this. I hate saying it, but the new normal, screw the new normal in my opinion. But while I'd like to see these prices come down, just the popularity of this whole thing has driven everything up, not just the market, everything. It's the popularity is what's done it. Think about it. All you guys in here listening to this and talking about it, and buying parts, and did you get that? Did you see that? Look at the price on it. That's what's done it, guys, because we all love them. That's what happens. Unfortunately, the guys that were in early, like me, I thank God every day that I got my collection to where it is when things were dirt cheap, because I couldn't afford to rebuild it again. I really couldn't. I don't think many of us could. It's a shame, but you got to make your choices carefully. And I'll say it again: make sure first you want it, because they could go away a couple of PK01 VS red dots on some AKs. How do you like those? Pretty nice stuff. Got a Vepr 545. Bill Carson says, got a Vepr 545 fixed stock I purchased from K-Bar a few years back. What is the fair market value in your opinion? Sky's the limit on that one, Bill. You hit the jackpot, buddy. Although you saw kind of a market drop when the steel case dried up, or I shouldn't say dried up. It hasn't dried up yet, but when they put the ban out on it, it's going to take a year or two till it's completely gone. That being said, I'm sure it's going to have an effect on the value. They hit their high 6 months ago, 8 months ago. They were going for crazy money, and some are still asking it, but I don't know that they're getting it because there's a fear that the ammo is not going to be there, or that it's going to be very expensive when American companies start producing it. You might be, if you're not looking to hold on to it, now might be the time to cash out of it. I know if I owned it, that's what I'd be thinking, but I've seen those guns go. I mean, let's face it, that gun was probably what? You guys are going to throw up when you hear this. But originally, fixed stock Veprs, and Bill, correct me if I'm wrong, but you probably paid, when did you buy it? A few years back, yeah. So when I bought mine too, you probably paid $8.99 for that gun, $9.99, or were they? Let me think. I think one was 900, and then the folders were like 1,200, and then they went to where the fixed stock were 1,200 and the folders were 1,500, and then when they banned them, they went crazy. But I want to say originally the fixed stock Vepr FMs were like $8.99, and the folders were $1,200. And look at them now. I mean, I've seen guys asking $4,000 for them, but are they getting it? I don't know. I own 2 Veprs, and I don't know that I would pay that kind of money for a 5.45. As a matter of fact, I know I would, or I'd have one. What do I think a fair price on that gun is? Got to be $1,800 all day long, maybe even $2,500. Probably closer to the 2,500 point right now. What will it be soon? I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine. But I'd like to see a comment if you got in when they were that. I'm pretty sure they were $8.99. They may have been. I may be thinking on the SLR fixed, but they were either $8.99 or $12.99, I believe, for the fixed stock. So let's see. Love those things. Absolute co-witness. Yes, sir. My local gun shop I go to has been getting in arsenals marked up a couple hundred. More than on K-Bar's website, wondering if he's paying full or wholesale for them. No one else in my area has them. He's probably got a deal getting them wholesale. That being said, guys, the markup in guns is next to nothing. You'd be shocked. So think about it. You order a gun for K-Bar. Let's say it's $12.99. And they ship it, and it goes to your local FFL, and you pay a transfer of. I get a good deal, $25. But what are they now? Some places are 50, 75, $100. So by the time you get it, you add that in and whatever. And think about it. You got a dealer there if something's wrong to back it up. Plus, K-Bar ships a gun. You haven't seen it. You haven't held it in your hand. Are the sights straight? That dealer has it in stock. He's used his funds, his capital, his money that costs him money, right, to stock that gun, to put it on the shelf, to have you come in and finger diddle the thing to see if you like it, right? And there's something to be said for that. There's value in being able to hold the gun in your hands, look at it, inspect it before you spend your hard-earned cash on it. So don't forget that. At the end of the day, guys, this is not a cheap hobby, no matter what it is. It may have been at one point, but it's not a cheap hobby. So if it's a matter of $100 on a $1,800 piece, I wouldn't worry about $100. To me, it'd be well worth it to be able to walk in a dealer and see it there. And it supports a local business, a local family. There's someone for warranty. There's somebody there that you spent your money with that hopefully, helps you out in the long run, down the road. Who knows? You do business with a guy, and when nobody else can find something, he's got one. And when he gets it, he remembers you because you're a good customer. He calls you and says, "Hey, I got that gun you've been looking for. Come on in and grab it before somebody else does." That kind of thing. Build those relationships. At the end of the day, a relationship is well worth $100 or $200, in my opinion. Now, I get it. If some of you guys are younger or really stretching it. I get it. 100 can be a lot of money. I don't think I'm I don't know, talking like money's cheap or something, but to me, it's just worth something. That relationship is worth something. It's the world needs more of that, and people need to get back to that. The internet, the no name face. What are you building with somebody? Nothing. It's well worth the time. Alan Bishop, a $5 super chat. Thank you so much. He says it's time to fill Kavar's inbox about their BS marketing. There you go. So he put his money where his mouth is, right? Speaking of filling inboxes, I'm not going to get political on you, so I don't want to see you guys back out of the chat here. I'm going to say one thing. It's going to take less than a minute, and you all need to do something real quick, and then we'll get right back. So the Democrats are trying to push through this thing on the filibuster, getting rid of it. The vote is on the 6th. There's two people standing in its way. And if you don't know about the filibuster, just here to make it pure and simple, if this passes, guys, they can ram anything through they want. Anything on gun control, on anything. It has to stop. There's two people standing in the way. That's Manchin from West Virginia, and what's the other chick's name? Damn, somebody will put it in here. Fill their Facebook, their social media. You can look it up on the internet real quick, get a number for them, and call and leave a message. Let them know that if they vote along the Democratic line on this filibuster thing, that you will no longer support them. They don't have to know where you're from, who you're from, that they're going to be voted out, because it's the most important thing going right now. That they vote on it in 2 days, guys, and they're trying their hardest to get Manchin to come over, and this other girl, like right now her name escapes me. Super, super important. If you do one thing, take 2 minutes and make that phone call. Anyhow, that's it. No more politics. Let's get back here to the chat. And I love answering these questions for you guys. This is great. I just don't want to miss any guys here, so I go through them. I don't want to miss anybody's stuff here. So yeah, Squeaky, if they got it in stock and you can see it, feel it, touch it, smell it, wrap your arms around it, make love to it, whatever you want to do, it's well worth it, I think, if he's got them in stock. So Fred, Chris Longday getting back from Tennessee a few hours ago, spending LB of AA 2230 and sending, and some 125 grain copper. How awesome! That's what I need. Load data for the AA 2230 is on your Gmail text, and he'll call me with seating on the cast bullets. Great. That's what I need, Fred. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And we got to talk. We need to talk, not text, soon. So let me know when you're available, and we'll have another 3-hour conversation. Squeaky's laughing over the super chat. Guys, thank you for the super chats. It really helps. Just like you know, the prices on these things are killing me on this channel with testing stuff and everything. And it's led to me reloading so much to even do some of the testing. And that takes so much time to do, and it takes away from filming videos. So the more you guys can help, it's truly appreciated. It goes right back into the channel. When Kvar introduced the converted FM Veprs, they were initially MSRP $9.99 for both caliber fixed stocks. Yep. That's right. They were $1,000. I said $8.99. But they were, yeah. And those aren't converted. Those are not converted. Those were factory guns built that way. Prior to the FMs, all you had were the angle cut receivers. So when the FM came out, there was the solution. There was the real gun, the last of the Russian AKs, albeit RPK style trunnions, heavy barrels, thick receivers, great gun. The last of the Russians. in great guns, and look what they've done. And the value, frankly, there's one gun that deserves what they're getting for them right now. Great guns. If you look at most of the pistols, SAM 7K 44 and the other SAM 7Ks, they all have a 13 date code. I haven't ever seen a pistol with a newer uh, made year. Arsenal must have been sitting on a boatload. Um, yeah, they were. And the cool thing with pistols is they don't need to comply with 922R. They can come in with factory triggers, all that good stuff. Magwell's cut the whole 9 yards. That's the cool thing about them. And yeah, but make no mistake, when they bring them in by the boatload. I don't know what the date codes are on mine. I'd have to look. And I can't tell you if that's true or not. At one point, I knew them all, and uh, I haven't done a Arsenal video in a while, but I'll have to take a look at them and see. You're probably right. You're probably right. That's from Richard Power. My local shops call me when cool stuff comes in, right, Joe? You got to get to know those guys, man. Yeah, and they can remember one thing, guys. When you're working them on a price, used guns are one thing. They'll mark stuff up, knowing people probably want to negotiate. Other shops don't. You get to know your shop and what they'll do or won't do, and how they price, and what they buy things for. And you hear so much about, oh, they're robbers, they're this, they're that. Guys, there's it costs a lot of money to run a small business. Um, don't knock them. I've spent 40 years being browbeat about it, being in the car business. A bunch of thieves, this, that. Don't get your car serviced there. It's too much money. All this. Well, guess what? Now the dealers are cheaper, as cheap or cheaper than most independent shops. At least the smart dealers are. Uh, and you're getting real factory parts, factory trained technicians, all the information direct from the factory that the independent shops, frankly, can't get. There's something to be said for that, guys. Something to be said. Real parts are better. Period. I know they are. I see it every day. We use Napa parts for certain stuff, and while Napa's good, some stuff isn't. Uh, there's a lot to be said for working for the dealer, and the dealers aren't out to rob you either. They're there to be in business, and they have to be competitive. They have to be. And, it's moved away from the plaid coated used car salesmen and that kind of thing to one price shopping, to buy it on the internet, and complete transparency and easy. Trust me, we work at it every day to keep that reputation, uh, and to make our customers happy, and to keep them coming back, because look at the investment they have. Any typical new car dealer has millions and millions invested in a building, and then think about the inventory. I have $2 million in used cars and $6 million in new cars that we pay juice on every month. It costs a lot of money. And people say, well, the car business is going to order it online and it'll deliver to your driveway. Great. I've seen it. Who's going to answer the questions? Yeah, you can look it up, but a lot of it is, I know them, and I have a hard time sometimes finding out information. Or you want to test drive one or whatever. It costs money, guys. At the end of the day, that's what it is. And we compete with the internet people. We are the internet people now. And that costs money too. It's at the end of the day, sure, there's thieves out there, but there's still some fair people out there. You just have to find them. Look for the good people. Man, I wish my moderator was in here right now. What the heck is going on here? And I don't think my moderator's in here. Well, Pay no attention, guys. If I can figure out how to boot them, I'll boot them. Cinema, yeah, that's the other name. Let's see. What else we got here? Yeah, you're right. Factory score back on the Vepr. Glad I have at least one. Yeah, great guns. Anyone looking for an EQ test? Euro Optics is having a sale. Cool. Miguel Valenzuela, thank you so much, sir, for my favorite AK series. I appreciate that. Thanks. Joe, I cut to the chase and make cash offer on used guns, and it usually comes with me if it's something that has sat. Yeah. Keep in mind, if a dealer takes in a gun, he puts whatever amount of money in it. Maybe he was right, maybe he was wrong, and maybe the gun sits for a while and you end up getting a decent deal on it. So, it works both ways too. Right now, we're paying up for used cars. During the hard times when guns are selling like crazy, dealers pay up for used guns. And some people can get money. It works both ways. There's sellers markets and there's buyers markets. At the end of the day, it's what's fair on both ends. Both parties have to be happy, and that's what you got to find. Somebody that's willing to work with you. Richard Power, the way the Bulgarians uses dates is to add 60 years on the receiver number. Yep. 53XX, just add 60 to the first two numbers, right? And you get 2013, just FYI. Yeah. And that's funny that you brought that up because info like that maybe or I know and we think is common information, a lot of people don't know. That's a great thing. That's why these chats are so good. You get to learn stuff. I'm pretty sure everybody that comes in this chat gets to learn at least one thing every time they come in here, which is cool. 8K is 6.5 Grendel, yay or nay? The who made Vepr? You can get a Vepr in 6.5 Grendel. Hey, 6.5 is a great round. Any of the 6.5 stuff. They made Vepr's made some really nice hunting rifles, wood-stocked rifles with beautiful wood in 8K patterns. If you like that kind of stuff, it's cool. It's cool to have. You can even convert them if you wanted to bring it more into military type setup. I've seen guys do that. The Veprs were offered in all kinds of calibers, 308, 6.5, you name it. There were calibers out there. And I haven't checked in a while, but up until not too long ago, those were kind of the last ones selling, and there were a bunch available. And the prices weren't bad on them. And now, the word's gotten out how good some of these things were. And, people are snapping them up. And at the end of the day, those will go up in value too. They really will. Look at the Tigers, guys. Tigers. Those over there, those are hunting rifles, is all they are. They convert them and put the military furniture on them, and here's your SVD, right? But at the end of the day, they're hunting rifles over there. And in Europe, they're treated like that. They're not a big deal as like they are here. And if you search around the internet and look for ads for them, where they advertise them as such, and over there they do a lot of long distance stuff. They rebarrel them, they chop them up. They do to us it's sacrilege. Oh my God, look what these guys are doing! But they treat them like we do a Remington 700 action. They start with that action and then they start changing everything for a long distance rifle. And we look at it and go, oh my God, they're chopping up Tigers. No, the Tiger really is a hunting gun, at least the newer ones that you see over there. Now, they're still available. They're still making them. You just don't get them here because they're Russian. They can't be imported. So I used TRD Pro 4Runner selling for $61K online at a Toyota dealership. Believe it was a 2020 or 21. MSRP on a new one is lower, of course. Guys, here, for those of you that don't know, I've spent 40 years in the car business. I run car dealers. I'm a general manager. Um, in 40 years, I've never seen anything like it. Cars were always depreciating assets, right? Well, today they're not. You will pay. It's insane. I just have to laugh. I look at auction prices every day, and 2-year-old cars are going for over what sticker price is on a new one. Many makes and models are affected more than others. Some are more available and it hasn't done it. But all in all, the prices are absolutely crazy. I can't find a used car to buy at auction or anywhere to put on my lot for under 10,000. I can't find one for under 15,000. Matter of fact, I can't find one for under 20,000. I have a handful of cars. I normally stock over 100 used cars. I can't find a car. It's hard to find anything under 30,000 right now. 28.9 is about the best, other than maybe 5 cars. My cheapest car is almost 30G. And those 30G cars were 15G cars a year ago. It's insane. What is happening with inflation and the market just not having anything to sell is driving the prices up. And what does that do? If you absolutely need a car, yours blew up, yours whatever, and you can afford a 30G car, okay, you buy a 30G car, but it's not a new one. It's a 3-4-year-old one, but you need a car, so you buy it. But what about the folks that, all they can afford is a $10,000 car, a $15,000 car, a $5,000 car? What did they buy? Nothing. There's nothing for them to buy for that kind of money. So what do? I look at it, and maybe you could say conspiracy theory, but what do they want to do? They want to make the population immobile, right? It's one way to do it, I guess. It's one way to devalue your money, your savings, everything else. It's happening with guns. It's happening with everything. Your dollar is worth nothing. There's a big crash coming, a huge crash. I've been through 2 or 3 of them, '07, all of them. And I look back now and you see the plan, cash for clunkers. What was that? That wasn't just a bailout. Forget about the bailout. What did they take out of the market? They took out every single vehicle that wasn't trackable, that they couldn't track, that didn't have electronics in it, that could be controlled. Those are all gone. That's what that was about. It had nothing to do with a bailout of a company or anything like that. They got all those cars off the road, every one of them, with the rare exception of stuff that was put away. And I remember doing it. We were selling the cars and we had to pour stuff down them to blow the motors and everything. I remember driving them over to our storage lot, and they were beautiful cars, perfectly good, a lot of them. Some were junk, but most of them were perfectly good drivers. Some really nice, like crazy. What are these people doing? That's what that end game was. I look back and I wonder sometimes, is it a conspiracy theory, or is they're in it for the long term, guys? This has been going on for 30 years, and we forget about it. When's the last time you thought about cash for clunkers? Think about it. But it started then, and it keeps going, and it's just one more move on the chess game. One more move. Think I'm nuts? Maybe. I don't know. You tell me. My wife thinks I'm nuts. Tells me shut up all the time, but in her case, she's a smart woman. Very smart. She understands. She's just scared and doesn't know what the answers are. So her answer is like an ostrich: stick your head in the sand. Shut up. Don't want to talk about it. She gets it. She's smart. It is scary. It's very scary. What's the end game? I don't know. Who knows? Um, but keep up with this hobby, because at the end of the day, it's cash. It's at the end of the day, it's precious metal, right? More tradable than anything out there. You'll be able to trade it for anything, whatever you got. bullets, accessories, magazines, guns, whatever. It's all good. Better than buying gold, in my opinion. Look at gold. All this inflation and everything, and gold hasn't moved one. They control the market on that. So gold and silver, forget that. It should be going through the roof right now. Hasn't moved one iota. Let's see. Okay. My personalized Circle 10 mag from Arsenal is not original Bulgarian. What personalized one? I don't know if it is or not. I don't know which one you're talking about. Sure as rock, it's why I and a lot of others are preparing. Yep. Think all you want, guys. This can't hold. Can't hold. You have companies like Amazon. Look at what that company's valued at and what the stock's at, but yet they own nothing. They own a bunch of cheapy slap up warehouses that collapse, of course, empty giant spaces that they slap up for not a ton of money. I'll bet the planes aren't even owned. If they are, okay, maybe, I don't know. But at the end of the day, their assets are nowhere near the valuation of the company. And when it all implodes, it's all gone. 61K, I'd rather put that kind of cash on a 69 Camaro. Yeah, you could. It's a better buy for sure. Weird. Now I'm thinking 61K in ammo, optics, pew pews. Yeah, you're better off. Guarantee you're better off. It's crazy. That's the thing. You don't know where to put your money right now. You can't. You don't want to put it in the stock market. Yeah, it's going up, but it's going to implode one day, and you'll be caught short. You don't want to put it in the bank. You can't get it out. They want to question you when you pull it out, or they can't give you cash or whatever. You don't want to put it in real estate because it's way too inflated right now. That's going to pop. You don't want to put it in bonds because stocks are related to bonds. They say, well, when stocks go bad, bonds go up. No, dummy. The bonds are merely the borrowing of a company. So the bonds are worth nothing when the company goes bad. So, those go bad too. You don't want to be in those either. There's nowhere to put it. Gold and silver ain't moving because they're controlling that. And that they could just say you have to surrender it, right? And where are you going to spend it if they say that? Black markets, whatever, I guess. I don't know. But you won't be able to pay your bills with it. You'll be able to start campfires with your cash. Where do you put it? What's worth what anymore? Bitcoin? All they got to do is outlaw that too, and it's all a joke. I don't know. They can track it. They say, oh, it's untrackable, this, that bullshit. I don't get it. It's scary days, and I don't want to bring this into that. I try to stay away from this lately because I quit watching the news and everything. It's just too depressing. I want to talk about what I like here. I leave that for the worrying for other days and other times, not for you guys. It's about talking about what we like. So let's get into the accessories since you guys ran short on questions here. And we'll start at the front. Muzzle brakes. What do I like out there? For the money, you want an inexpensive brake for the money that works exceptionally well. And proof is in the pudding. Take a look at any video of my NPAP. Meridian BD2 muzzle brake. $60, $50, $60, I think. Essentially 2 ports, one per side, or one big one, one small one per side. Doesn't weigh a ton, isn't super long. They do make a longer one if you want to get with one more port. I can only imagine how well those work because you watch that MPAP video, that gun does not move. Does not move. Fabulous, fabulous brake for the money. You can't beat it anywhere. It seems like everything you touch for a muzzle device other than bird cage flash hiders, cheapies, are well over $100. And this one is one inexpensive one that works really well. If you want a crossover between a flash hider and a brake that still works well, not quite as good as the BD2, but well, The Manicore Arms night brake, nice. Doesn't it doesn't do either super well, but it does both well, and not a lot of money either. Now, you want a great flash hider, a great flash hider. The Krebs 4-prong, by far the best uh, break out there. You don't see anything out of this thing. If you're shooting a short barrel gun and there's a little unburnt powder, you might see a couple sparks, but blackness, absolute blackness. I put out these videos, and at the end of the video, I say, "Oh my God, guys, it's getting so dark here, I can't see anything." Well, I'm going to take advantage of that one of these nights and do a couple test shots and a video on that thing. He makes it for AKs. He makes it for ARs. And he also makes it as part of his IMS system, which is the interchangeable muzzle brake system. So if you're doing a weld and pin job and you say, well, I do a 14.5-inch barrel, but I don't want to be tied down to one muzzle device. What if I want to put a brake on? What if I want to put a flash hider on? What if I want to put a compensator on? What if I want them on a can? That gets welded and pinned. But on the outside, it comes with, at no extra charge, a basic compensator that will slide over and kind of act as, well, a compensator, sort of a brake, right? Then for additional charge, you can get the muzzle brake that screws over it, titanium, super like air weight, weighs nothing. You can get it in a short one or a long one. I have the long one. I have a video, best muzzle brake ever, best flash hider ever, whatever. I show it on an AR, and that brake works exceptionally well too. It's not a cheap system. The brake itself, I want to say, is right around 100. Or I'm sorry, the flash hider itself is right around 100. Comes with the compensator. You don't have to weld and pin it. It'll screw onto a shoulder, just like anything else, or you can do it with a lock nut or a crush washer or whatever. Or it's notched on the AK for the pin, the detent. Um, and then if you want to buy the brake separate, the titanium brake is about, depending on the long or short, like 100 to 130, maybe somewhere in there. Look on his site, he's got them. Great stuff. They work really well. So that's, in my mind, the best flash hider out there. I will also say one of the best flash hiders out there, period, is a factory Bulgarian 4-piece. But I see people run them on rifles. They're meant for pistols, guys. They're meant to give back pressure on pistols and hide the flash. They hide the flash better than just about anything on an AK, a pistol that is, but on a rifle, you're going to get a lot more back pressure. So you got that. Might not necessarily be a good thing. Plus, you'll definitely get some gas in the face probably from it out of an AK. But on a pistol, a braced pistol, whatever, 4-piece is exceptional way to go. However, those were $100 a year or two ago. I bought a bunch of them right from Arsenal, and now they're putting them on GunBroker at 400. You see them. I haven't seen one under $400 or $500 for a while. God, I could have retired on 4-pieces. But great flash hider. But if you don't want to spend that money, try the Krebs. Outstanding stuff. So that covers muzzle devices. And there's a ton of other stuff out there, guys. Whatever you like and you run. If you got some good suggestions, throw them down here. Tell us what works for you. Always looking for something new, but for the money, inexpensive and work well, those are great choices. You can't go wrong. It's not a guessing game. You're not going to look at it on the shelf and go, man, I'm going to spend this money. Is it going to work or not? And you get it home and it doesn't work. These work. I promise you. Promise you. Like I said, and the Manicore Arms Night Brake does both okay. It's not an expert at either, but it does both okay. Also, here, I'll throw one more in. People tend to dismiss it, but if you're just looking for muzzle control, I'll still say, and first thing guys will do is take them off and toss them. But a good old slant brake works magnificent at controlling muzzle rise. If that's what you're looking for, put a slant brake. And it came with a muzzle nut, maybe. Throw a slant brake on it for $5, $10, $7, whatever. You used to be able to get handfuls of them for $3, $2 a piece. There's still places out there to get them cheap, but don't overlook those. They're great. They work very well. The high-priced Arsenal stuff, the egg beaters, this, that, you're not getting what you pay for. I promise you. Promise you. So check those other ones out. They work great. Let's work our way back. As far as, let's say you want to put a light on. What have I found that work well for the money? You can go with the super expensive lights. Will they always work? Yes, but they're a lot of money. You think about it, the average guy, maybe you got an AR pistol, maybe you've got a AK pistol, an AK rifle, a few other things, and you want to put lights on them all. Who can afford that at $400 or $500 a pop? Nobody. Streamlight, decent lights for the money. They seem to hold up well. I've never had a problem with one. There's reports of the switches sometimes going bad, but depending on how you mount them, sometimes you can get by with the regular cap on it and use your thumb depending how you're mounting it and how your rifle is set up. Some of you guys are going to laugh and guys are going to say they're junk or, oh, that's for the pores, but N-Force. Definitely stay with the 800. The 400 is not enough. They're under $100, and I'm currently have 4 of them, and I've run them for at least 3 years, all of them, maybe 4 years, and haven't had a single problem. They just work and work well. The cap, the glass cleans up well from muzzle blast residue. And for $100, if it did go bad, they'll stand behind it, or you get another one. How many? You can buy 5 of them for the price of a Surefire, and they work. They work really well. I recommend them. Sometimes get away from that internet stuff where guys are making you feel bad about your choice or making you feel bad about the money you're spending. At the end of the day, it's your money. And I'm just telling you what I've experienced. I've used them all. You guys see my videos. You can see how much I shoot. They haven't gone bad. They just haven't. Now, it's not a sampling of 1. It's a sampling of 4. You would think out of 4, 1 would have went bad if they were that bad, right? They haven't. They've held up really well. When one breaks or something, I find something wrong, I'll let you guys know. But it just hasn't been the case. Guys, I'm turning on a little heater here because I'm freezing. Let me know if this gets too loud and it sounds bad in the microphone. I'll kind of turn the mic a little even, but let me know if it sounds bad. If it does, I'll shut it off. So lights, yeah. As far as light mounts, there's a lot of good stuff out there. I don't use them, so I can't speak too much about them, but I've heard good things about the JMax stuff. Just watch for issues with barrel harmonics. And if it does change your point of impact, well, then just change the sighting of your gun. That's all. And just know that if you take it off, it's going to change it again. It's not necessarily a bad thing unless it's throwing it way off or something, or making it not as consistent. But usually it's not a consistency issue. It's just that it changes the point of impact. So if that's what you got to do on an AK, that's what you got to do. Dixie said that they're going to try mounting it to the UTG angled mount there. Good idea, good ingenuity. I don't know that I'd want the light that far back. It could get blocked by things. You may get a weird pattern because it's so far back. But let us know how it works out for you. Adjustable gas systems. Let's talk about those. Most are good. All I can tell you is you need to keep them clean and you need to service them. Let's say you set it for a gun you're suppressing or something, and that's just how you're going to run the gun, and so you leave it alone. Well, that's fine, but let's say you want to change it up and you haven't serviced it, haven't cleaned it, they're a bear to get moving again. Just make sure you're cleaning them and taking good care of them. That's all. The K&S is good. What's his name's the one he makes is good. I can't go wrong anywhere there. K&S is kind of what I like when it comes to that. Let's talk about, and this could be a whole video unto itself, and we've talked a little bit about optics and other streams. All I'm going to tell you here is the old term or phrase, you get what you pay for, usually holds true. You are definitely going to get better quality and consistency as far as turrets and stuff and all that when you spend more money. However, at that entry level point to just touching mid-grade sort of, and I can look right over here in the rack, and oh God, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, I don't know, 8, 10, 12 of them. You can't go wrong with primary arms. You can't. If you move up to their gold models and their platinum, great stuff, good glass. But at those price points, I might start looking at other more mainstream brands. But in their silver lineups, whether it's a red dot, a prism scope, LPVO, whatever optic you choose from them, I have yet to have, and again, this is not a sampling of one. This is a sampling of 10, 12, 15, 20, I don't even know anymore. I have yet to have any of them fail. I do have one. Is it a primary arms? I have one primary arms red dot. Oh no, you know what? Yeah, I have one primary arms LPVO that the knob for the lighted reticle has not stayed as stiff as it should be. While it's not a problem, it's still got a click and it still holds. I haven't had it knock out yet. Very easy to move it, and it's gotten easier and easier. It's not bad. Actually, I kind of like it right now because it is easier to move, but it might be something to watch down the road. But all of them have just held up magnificently. Not a single issue with any of them. I stayed away from Holosun for a long time until the 510C came out, which is their reflex style red dot, but the larger size one with the solar and everything. I currently have, and again, not a sampling of one, I currently have at least 5, maybe 6 of them. I've run them on everything from 12 gauges, shooting 3-inch magnums through, to, let's see, Tavor. I'm looking right here. Tavor has one. AR Pistol here has one. The 1301 has one. I've got an AR with one, a full-size AR rifle. I've got them on AKs. I've got them on everything, at least 5 or 6. And probably my best well-rounded use on anything Optic. And not one has failed, not one. The coatings have held up well. The batteries, I don't know that I've replaced a battery in any of them in 5 years. I have replaced batteries in the primary arms LPVOs quite often, actually, usually due to me leaving them on. But the red dots have held up extremely well. They're all 50,000 hour plus. Not one single problem with any of them. Vortex, I have a few. From Strike Fires to what's their cheapest LPVO? It's called Spitfire or something. 1x4, super cheap, like $199 or something like that. 1x4. The battery contact broke off it. I've just been too lazy to send it back. Lifetime warranty, but that has been a problem. The Strike Fire I have has been a great optic, really has. Hard to go wrong with any of those. You can, if you, whatever style you're looking for, whatever you want to do with it, reticle, this, that, caliber for BDC, just do your research, buy the right optic for the right job, and don't think twice. Don't worry about what anybody says. Although I don't hear too many people saying bad stuff about or calling people out like, oh, Poors, he's got a primary arms. Guys, I have very expensive guns that I run primary arms on all day long, and I don't worry about it. They work, and they work well. Is there better glass out there? Yes, and I have it on some of my super duper stuff that I really like to work with. That being said, you want to spend money? EOTech. I don't care if it's a Voodoo scope or a 512 or a magnifier. Anything they touch is fabulous and rock solid. Well worth the money, in my opinion, on that. So that's enough about optics because I've got other videos and it's too big a subject to go into. Let's talk about magazines. By far, while a bit pricey, the best mags out there are the Arsenal waffle mags. They're 45 bucks a piece on average right now, but you can't hurt them. They fit everything I've ever tried them on, except my Galil, which is a bit kind of pissing me off. And I may be able to, with a quick file, make a few of them fit, but I don't think I would change those mags to fit just that one gun. So can't go wrong with those. If it's not those, my second choice is steel Eastern Comblock mags, Romanian probably for the most part, or you go bolt hold opens if you don't mind a bolt hold open. Sometimes they can be a pain because when you pop it out, it releases the bolt. The only thing they're good for, and I used to like them a lot for it, is telling you last round. You feel it when that bolt sticks and you're out. When there's a ton of noise or firing going on next to you, around you, in front of you, everywhere, you can feel it and not have to worry so much or rely so much on hearing. But in other cases, it can be a pain in the butt. That being said, Magpul, think what you want, say what you want. If you are buying their Gen 3s and the ones with steel locking lugs, great AK mag, fabulous AK mag, can't go wrong. Don't be afraid of those. ARs, same thing. ARs, I'll take any Magpul. I don't care. Gen 2s, Gen 3s, Gen 1s, doesn't matter. Windows, no windows, this, that. Oh, they shatter the feed lips, this and that. I've got hundreds of them. I have not had one fail, not one. Same thing with Tapcos. I don't know that I'd throw them in my chest carry and fight with them, no problem. Tapco's never broke one, ever. No steel feed ramps, not or locking lugs, nothing. They work great and dirt cheap right now. Are they ugly? Yeah, some. I actually have one gun. I like the look of it in there, but uh, hard to beat. But there's other things you can stick with better than that. So that's my cue on that. Side mounts we talked about already. I guess if I had to pick one, RS Regulate, period, end of story for everything. The Arsenal is nice, mounting longer optic scopes. Nothing wrong with the Midwest Industries, and nothing wrong with the Zastava one. Let's talk about handguards. What are you looking to do with it? All of us like to replace handguards and got to have this handguard, that handguard. Maybe most of the time, guys, I would say 80% of the time, guys are going for looks. 20% of the time, they're trying to avoid heat. Well, let me restate that. 50% of the time, they're going for looks, and maybe I'll include partially being able to mount something. 10% of the time, they're trying to get rid of, 20% of the time, trying to get rid of heat, and maybe 20% are trying to mount something, whatever. If you're trying to mount something, TDI arms, billet, aluminum handguard. If you're looking for a short handguard, great stuff. And under $100. Can't beat it. Heat wise, it does allow it to dissipate heat extremely well, but when the barrel heats up, you will feel that heat. You're going to wear gloves. You just are. You want a great handguard that keeps the heat away, is comfortable a little longer, and does a lot of things well. Try the Hogue. Not a lot of people use it. I originally started out my AKs, everything had Hogue grips. I got away from them because they just started to feel chunky and mushy to me. And I exclusively use Magpul K grips now on ARs and AKs, almost exclusively. And I've gotten away from the Hogues as far as the grips go on both ARs and AKs. But that handguard is kind of neat. I will say, if you're looking for a buffer tube style stock, the overmolded Hogue is extremely nice too. And they come in cool colors. You can get FD, you can get OD green. Look at my OD green AR build. The nice thing with the overmolding is it makes them a little tighter on the tube, and you get no rattle out of them. Zero. They are a little harder to move. As a matter of fact, mine I have to kind of pull because the overmolding, the softer polymer rubber kind of grips it a little, but you get no rattle out of it. Super comfortable. They fit really well. They'll match that handguard well. So if you're doing something with an M4 buffer tube and you want comfort, stiction for your hand, and a lot of protection from heat, that Hogue is a nice way to go. It's what they put on the M90. Factory US, I guess it's US polymer, like on the Arsenals, as long as there's a heat shield in them, great stuff. How do you go wrong? If you're looking to mount stuff, super high quality, Zenitco, but it's a lot of money. It's heavy. I murdered one out with all the Zenitco doing an alpha clone. Love it. But at the end of the day, it's very heavy. It's cool. Yeah, maybe you got to have one gun done up in it just because. But at the end of the day, it's not the greatest solution out there. Triggers. One trigger, period, end of story. ALG. I've been touting ALG triggers longer than anybody on the internet. I'm pretty much sure of that. I like the ULs just because They need no polishing. Some people say they're a little light, but they are by far the fastest trigger out there. Even the EL, super fast, super smooth enough, smooths out as you use it, or polish a little, just don't over polish it. You can smear the metal easily if you over polish, overheat it. You don't want that to happen. The trigger gets worse, not better. You'll polish your trigger, it'll all look nice. You'll put it together and you'll go, what the hell? This thing's way grittier than I started with, because you overdid it. Be very, very careful. A little is enough. Go in small increments. Don't push hard. Let your compound or whatever you're polishing with do the work. Um, if you need to file a little bit, file and then emery cloth, but do all of it in small, easy increments without rubbing hard. Let the product, the tool, do the work. ALG, period. Um, I would use nothing else other than, if it's not stock, I'd use a ALG, period. And when I say stock, I mean original factory, not Arsenal, but Arsenal built triggers. Okay, um, not Arsenal, Bulgaria, Arsenal. Whatever came with the gun, whether it's Romanian original, double hook Romanian, double hook Chinese, whatever. If it's not that, ALG. And in most cases, I'd switch all of them over to ALG. Can't go wrong. Talking about holding pins in a fire control group in an AK. What do you want to do there? Get rid of that paper clip, period. First of all, some are easier than others to use, and watch a video, guys. There's a trick to it to get them in and out easy. Some are just a plain pain in the ass to get in and out. Either way, I would get rid of them, because when they're hard to do, what does it prevent you from doing? Taking it apart, inspecting it, cleaning it, right? So you want to make it easy. You want to get these little ones. Let me grab one to show you. You can get them from a multitude of sources. Any of the websites that cater to AKs will have them. But here, this style right here, that's what you want. Easy in, easy out. They work great. I get these like this, 10 in a pack, whatever. And I think I used to buy them for $1.50 a piece, something like that. This guy, he used to advertise on one of the forums, AK files, and I get them there. But you can find them everywhere. Reddit, or you can find them. Look around for them. A must-have, because they're a pain, and eventually you are going to lose a pin or have a dead trigger if you don't put these in, because those clips will go bad. Every one of your guns should have one of these in it, period. No excuses. You will have problems in it. Hopefully isn't when you have a problem at the range. Or hopefully it is when you're at the range. You don't want a clip failing you when you need it. Cheap insurance, cheapest, best thing you can put on one. What else? We talked about grips. That's very subjective. There's a lot of good stuff out there, guys. I just like the K grip, or any grip, Bravo company, any of them that bring that angle in, because having your wrist cocked too much is a pain. You want to have that wrist available, especially if you go prone or something like that. Absolutely. Don't just do it for looks or whatever. Shorten that angle or bring that angle in. You'll be much, much happier, I promise you. What else? Stocks, subjective. I told you about the Hogue. That's kind of a sleeper that not a lot of people know about. That overmolded. It really stops it, any of the rattling or anything like that. If any of you guys have an idea for a milled receiver stock that can raise my cheek weld, I would really like some help there. What else? Anything I missed, guys? I'm trying to think here. Folding stocks or folding braces. Um, you cannot go wrong with a CNC Warrior. Um, Shipping has been an issue throughout COVID and all that with them, but at the end of the day, they will get it to you, and it's top notch, top quality. You will not be disappointed in anything they make. Anything, it is all good. Oh, if you're looking for a great replacement for a 4-piece Bulgarian, and you don't want to spend the original money, buy theirs. They are chrome plated inside, just like the original. They work exceptionally well. They're just like the original. Can't go wrong. Cheap compared to what they're getting for those. So don't shy away from them. Um, if you're looking for an M4 conversion block to convert your AK to an M4 stock, the best, tightest fitting, most well machined is the Definitive Arms. So perfect that, uh, God, they just, on my Yugo, I mean, I had to move it till you just hit the right spot and it went, I mean, incredible, the precision in that thing. It's held up fabulous throughout the years. Good stuff. Um, and I'll hit slings real quick. I'll go back to Magpul. Great slings. QD points. Great QD points. Uh, if you're converting anything on ARs, AKs, you need those little parts, whether it's slings or pick rails or anything like that. QD points. Magpul and Bravo Company. Really nice stuff. Stay away from polymer pick rails. If you're buying a 1-inch section, 2-inch section, it's easy to say, oh, it's only $6. Guys, spend the $15 and buy the aluminum. Stuff like that gets hung up on things. Let's say you're mounting a flashlight or something, whatever, and it gets hung up on something, it'll tear that or crack that polymer. Get the aluminum. You'll be much happier at the end of the day. All right. That's that. If you guys can think of anything else or you want me to get into ARs, I'll give you my opinions on that too. But that takes care of most of the AK stuff. Let's check the chat here real quick. Johnny Gamble, my personalized Circle 10 mag from Arsenal is not original. Oh, I said I didn't know what he was talking about there. It just jumped on me. Give me a second here, guys. You guys added a lot here while I was yapping. A lot of people seem to agree with a crash coming. Yeah, it is. I hope it isn't, guys, but I don't see how it's not. The Squeaky Cooler said the cash for clunkers thing. Spot on. 61K. Psh. I'd rather put that kind of cash on a 69. Okay, we read that one. Has anyone bought Atlantic's new 74 style brake? Looks good and price is right for $28.99. Probably will throw on. I'm sure it's fine. Atlantic's got nice stuff. They really do. I like the short PKM flash hiders. Yes. I have one on my RPK. Streamlights are actually pretty good. I agree. They are. I have not had a problem with them. I like the way they mount their tapes. If you can use that little one that works with the pick rail, it works pretty neat. Stays in place too. Use the tail cap. Tail caps work great. If you're using a vertical grip, you can mount a light. If you're right-handed and you got a vertical grip, if you put the light on the right side and have the tail right where your thumb wraps around, you can on off with the thumb super easy, and you avoid running the wires, the tape, the switches, all that stuff, and just use the cap. The Streamlight caps are pretty solid. Much easier. Don't have all that extra crap hanging off it. I hate tapes with wires. I really do. That's why I like that Enforce so much. And say what you will, guys, but they've held up and worked great for me. Never had a problem with my Enforce lights. Hey, Travis Haley signs off on them. Can't be that bad. Yeah, I sign off on them too. I really do. I like them. Anyone using ACOG with a by 39 BDC? I have not, but you certainly can't go wrong. Someone had them. Someone at a local fleet farm on sale for $9.50. I'm not saying it was a by 39 uh, reticle, but hard to go wrong with that optic, boy. They've text, they're proven. Anytime anything's hard to go wrong with, it's just a matter of do you want to spend the money usually, because those things in that range are usually higher dollars. I actually won a through night light from Texas Gun Vault. I'm very excited. Cool. Awesome. Let us know how it works out. Those ACS reticles are awesome. They are. They're great reticles. They're easy to pick up. I like the chevron. Once you get used to it, you'll love it. And so much, you can use them for so much. And a lot of guys end up just using them, and they like the thought of having that reticle there, but then they don't use it. They don't practice with it. Practice at the range with it. Practice sighting in different things. Get some torso size targets, put them at different ranges, the range features. Maybe you got a crosswind one day. Use it, try it out, see how easy it is. Once you get used to using them, that dot is no longer just some extraneous dot there. You actually know, oh, that's the wind hold for it. And I used it and it works. And you build confidence in it. You have to build confidence in that reticle and be able to use it quickly. So the only way to do that is through practicing with it. Forget just lining up the chevron and shooting 50 rounds at the bullseye. Use the different features and get used to it. It's cool. It's fun to use. Get out there and try it. And once you do, and you have that confidence, and it's not just, what does that one do? I forget what that one does. Is that 200 or 300? Stop. Use it, guys. So when you do need to use it, you know. And once you build the confidence with it, you're going to love it. So it's by far the best reticle going out there. And it's been copied, but none is good like the Strike Fire reticle. It's got a lot of that on it, but I hate the circle and dot, the lollipop thing on it. I don't like it. I'd rather have the chevron. Much easier to use, doesn't drown out as much of what's around the target. Let's see. High Rock +1 on Primary Arms. Big fan of their basic 2.5 prism. They just work. I haven't done the 2.5, but I got a 3. I got a 5. I like them. I've got them in with the 7.62 reticle. I got them with the 5.56 reticle. Keep in mind the 5.56 works with 308, and with 308, and the 7.62 works with 300 blackout. Great stuff, really is. 512s on sale for $350. That's a deal, guys. Don't shy away from those 512s. You might think, they look a little old school. Okay, use them to your advantage then. Put them on an old school style gun. Nothing better for an alpha clone. They Spetsnaz use those things like crazy. I've got my 512s, easy, 15 years old, working like a charm. You can get new battery cups for them, all of that. Great optic for $350. How do you go wrong on a built like a brick optic when and nothing wrong with the whole sun, but those 510Cs are $299 or so, $3.25. So for $350, you got an EOTech. You drop it down the side of a mountain, it'll still work. And if you have astigmatism that affects you with a red dot, that EOTech just might be the solution for you. Hey, just checking in. Love the new lights, Miles. Hey, Miles, what's up, man? Good to see you. You like it? Yeah, I had to do something. Had to fancy things up here a little bit. You know, we're just a bunch of hillbillies living out here in the country, but had to do something. So I thought it was cool. I'm glad you like it. Thanks for stopping in. That is my little buddy there. He loves shooting. I love taking him shooting. Let me know when you want to go, Miles. I'll take you. Guys, if you got somebody that's interested in shooting, a young person, take them with you, man. That's how this keeps going. Without them, you got nothing. This goes away. They vote the Second Amendment out. It's all over. Get the kids out there. He's not a kid. He's a young man, but he's younger, and he likes shooting. He gets into it, and not a lot of opportunities for him where he lives. So when he comes to see me or we go somewhere, we take him out and he has a blast. A blast. No pun intended. Pun intended, whatever. Deployed with PMags. Absolutely, right? I have seen videos of guys swearing, goddamn PMags. Well, it ain't the PMag. I literally saw a video of it. I think it was Afghanistan. No, I think it was Iraq, actually. And he was bitching about it, but it wasn't the PMag. Uh, yeah, I trust them 100% too. I still like quad rails. It's not trendy, but they're strong. They are. Nothing wrong with them. Hey, here, look. What do I do? Let's see. I got M-lock, but to mount my flashlight, I got to go get a piece of pick rail to mount to my M-lock to mount to my flashlight. What's the point? It's all crazy. It all goes back to pick rail, right? Think about it. Now, if you have a key mod, man, you better hide. You better hide your head in shame if you have a key mod rail or something, right? You go to the range, they'll all laugh you out. What's your opinion on ARs chambered in 7.62? My opinion is I've seen some great ones and I've seen some bad ones. Personally, I think if I was going to do it, I'd do the CMMG Mutant, is what I would do. My buddy over at Otenda's channel has one he built and he's got it running right. It's about getting the right mags and gassing the thing right is what it is. But yeah, it's cool. Why not? Why not? Get the best of both worlds, right? Let's see. Johnny Gamble, how about ARM9 Bulgarian NATO stock? Yeah, well, that's basically the same stock, isn't it? With the same, just a little different pattern. I don't think it raises the cheek rest any. But now that you mention that, that might, now you got me thinking. I got to go look. Maybe that's the solution. I don't think it's high enough for what I need, but and I don't think it would be high enough if I wanted to use an LPVO. But might help with a red dot. I got to look. That's not a bad idea, maybe. I hope it does. Ergo grips, nice grips. A lot of guys using them, a lot of guys loving them. I tell you what I like too. A lot of AR products, but some of it transfers over. Mission First Tactical, really nice stuff. I like their minimalist stock. I use it on a lot of stuff. Got one on our VR80. I got one on a Bulgarian SLR 107. I like them. I got them on ARs. Super nice, lightweight. Don't catch on nothing. Don't rattle. Work great. Mission First Tactical mags, nice mags. The second gen mags, really nice stuff. A lot of their stuff. I've used some of their pick rails. Their little sections are nice. Nice hardware all the way around. Can't go wrong there either. Good company. Oh, that one. The mag thing. I was wondering what the hell. I thought you had like a custom color done or something. I'm like, what are you talking about? Sorry, I was talking about 2A, just writing on paper. It's up to us to make sure tyrants don't continue to put their foot on our throats. It is. You guys got to get out there and do something. Um, I'll save the political stuff for the political guys, and I do them once in a while, but I don't, when I'm talking about certain things, I don't want to interrupt uh, the good with some of the bad. So, but this is a big deal on the six guys. Give Mansion and Cinema a call and leave a message for them. Anything you can do. It's a big deal. Many thanks, Chris. So much great content and chat. Well, I'm glad you're enjoying it. JB123, keep up the content, Rock. We all play a part in growing our 2A community, and I appreciate what you do. Well, thank you guys. It's been 2.5 hours. I'm going to call it a night. Go spend time with my beautiful wife. Uh, Boy, you ever walk in and your wife's standing there doing everyday stuff, and she just looks so good one day, just beautiful as ever. I had that day the other day. She looked so darn good, just looking pretty. Good looking woman for her age. Keeps herself together. Takes care of so much so I can do what I do. Make sure you tell them you love them, guys. Um, they put up with us after all. And same goes for any of the ladies here. Tell them you love them. They put up with you too. Probably, but you put us up with us more. That's what I'll say. So without them, we got nothing. Not a zip. So thanks, guys, for coming in. I appreciate it. I hope this was helpful. I hope you gleaned a few things. Um, I can say with utmost confidence that anything I recommended tonight works exceptionally well. I'm not a shill for anybody. I will tell you the only thing I got free out of any of that stuff I mentioned here was a Krebs IMS system, including the flash hider, but I found it to be exceptionally great stuff. He did give me a set free. And I did get, but I get a bunch of stuff from TDI Arms here and there. They'll send me stuff. But I started out as a customer first. I bought 2 or 3 of their handguards, and then I was talking to them, begging them for the Yugo stuff one day, and they came out with it, and they sent me a Yugo one. But I was already a customer. But I just want to make that clear. I don't want anybody to ever think I'm shilling for any products out here. I'm not. I'm just telling you what I have, what I spent my hard-earned money on, and what works. And all of it works good, and all of it on somewhat of a budget. So you can trust in it. I promise you. If you find any different or you try something and you say, "Hey, Chris, this ain't what you told me it was," let me know. I'd like to know. And if you didn't like it and it didn't work and I need something, maybe I'd take it off your hands for you so you didn't feel like you got taken or something. I trust that much in what I told you there. Um, good stuff. Maybe we'll get into some maintenance stuff next week. Things I use, things I find useful around the shop, things we use for cleaning that work exceptionally well. Um, yeah, that might be a good topic because that's confusing. You walk in, there's so many things. Think about all the stuff you've tried. You got half bottles of this and half bottles of that laying on the shelf that is never going to get used, and it ain't cheap, right? Um, None of it's cheap. So maybe we'll do something on that. Watch for the video on the Galil, and I'm going to go have some plain old fun tomorrow with shotguns and slugs. And you'll see a fun, cool video. You'll see me getting excited. And I think I'm going to take my Markelmar out too and have some fun with that because I really enjoy it. And I think I might take my AR-10 out too because I want to shoot that. I've been loading up a bunch of ammo for it, and I've been itching to do it. So hey, you never know what videos are coming this week. That's a lot of stuff. We're going to have some fun. I got to get a haircut in the morning and head on out before, so I got some time. It gets dark early, but Hopefully it's not too cold or too windy and we can go. Anyhow, thanks for everything, guys. Thanks for hanging with us. Thanks for checking things out. You guys that gave the super chats, thank you so much. I truly appreciate it. We'll put it back into the channel so you can see some more cool stuff. Check out our Instagram. Got some cool pictures on it. I was going through it the other day. I like a lot of pictures I took. Check them out. Let me know what you think of the style and some of the editing I did on them and whatnot. I think they're pretty cool. Our website is not moved much. I'm gonna get a gallery up there and some other stuff. So check that out if you want, and check out all our videos here on YouTube. Thanks so much for everything you do for me, guys. Remember, make those calls on this vote for the 6th, okay? And do the right thing. Take a kid shooting, take somebody shooting, anybody shooting. Introduce them to it. It's the only way we keep going. Thanks for everything. God bless. God bless America. And as always, Rockford Ordnance out.